Hello, my name is Lita Downs, and I'm with the Office of Teaching and Learning Excellence, and I will be your moderator today for this research session, Online Doctoral Student Perceptions of Faculty Kindness during the Capstone project. This research was conducted and will be presented today by Dr. Steve Verrone, who is a core faculty member in the MBA program here at Walden, along with Dr. Sheryl Kristensen, senior core faculty member in the PhD management program. At this point, I'm going to turn things over to our presenters. Welcome.
Thank you, Lita. My name is Dr. Steve Verrone. I'm a core faculty member at Walden. I've taught online business management and marketing courses for over 16 years and have been a faculty member for Walden for the past 6 years. Some of my passions include teaching, developing strategic initiatives, and my work experience included serving as an independent consultant for a major firm that specialized in developing positioning strategies for nonprofit organizations. I hold an MBA and a DBA degree. Dr. Christensen, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. My name is Sheryl Kristensen, and I am senior core faculty in the PhD in management program at Walden. You might notice that I'm not on video. That's because Spectrum is having an internet outage here in rural Eastern Oregon. And so I'm joining you from the parking lot at a nearby McDonald's. I apologize for my unusual way of joining this session. I do have over 35 years of higher education experience involving both administrative and teaching roles. My recent research interests have focused on kindness. I do have a PhD in education, a master's degree in leadership in human service administration, a graduate certificate in measurement, evaluation, statistics, and assessment, a graduate certificate in evidence-based coaching, and I'm also a board certified coach. I have also completed numerous graduate courses in management. Next slide, please.
Great, thank you, Sheryl. So a little background. Well, internationally, doctoral studies are increasing, as per Sampson, Johnson, Comer, and have brought that to light. And technology to deliver doctoral education is evolving. Ames, Berman, and Castell noted that advancements in information technology and communication modalities have allowed exponential expansion of programs worldwide. Evolving means of delivery, including online courses, has increased access and has resulted in the need to identify and address student experience. Faculty and student interactions are essential for student success. Doctoral students want faculty who reassure them, encourage them, and guide them regarding knowledge of the profession. Facilitating a kind environment has the potential to improve student satisfaction and outcomes. Numerous barriers to student experience have been identified, including low integration level with faculty, as per Gold, Hoskins, and Goldberg and Lovitz, and poor advisor relationship per Ferrar de Valero. Navigating the complex dissertation stage, some of our resources have shown that this also affects doctoral student experiences. In their research, Specific Counselor Education, Hoskins and Goldberg noted the importance of the social personal match between students and faculty. The social personal match between students and their dissertation chair is an important factor in the student experience. In particular, how do experiences in classes resonate with and inform students as they pursue educational pursuits? Well, Dewsbury and Braun described a teaching guide in which authors explore the role of classroom climate before identifying pedagogical choices to support students' sense of belonging, competence, and interest in the course. Yet little is known about the specifics related to online student experiences with kindness during the Capstone project. Exploring online doctoral student perceptions of faculty kindness during the Capstone project will extend the research by Hopkins and Goldberg. The purpose of this qualitative exploratory case study was to describe doctoral student experiences with faculty kindness during the Capstone project. This research was grounded in constructivist theory, which is based on the idea that individuals learn through exploration, reflection, and active learning, thus constructing their own knowledge. As per Cranton, constructivism is primarily based on work in psychology, philosophy, and science, focusing on themes, concepts, and connections for McBrien and Brandt. Next slide, please. Our primary research question was, how do doctoral students describe faculty kindness during the Capstone project? Next slide. Our participants and sample size, we used Walden University's participant pool to recruit participants. 17 individuals completed the online survey. One participant was eliminated because they responded no to the question, confirming that they were in the Capstone course. Thus, 16 doctoral learners engaged in the doctoral capstone at an online university were included in our study. Next slide, please. Data collection and analysis, where data was gathered using an online survey consisting of 5 open-ended questions. Clark and Braun's thematic analysis strategy was followed for coding and analysis. The first participant responded to the survey on June 7th of 2021, and the last participant responded to the survey on August 10th, 2021. Since we were using the participant pool in lieu of active recruiting such announcements via LinkedIn or similar social media, we chose to close the survey in August of 2021 because it seemed that we were not going to have any additional participants. We waited until we closed the survey to begin our data analysis. Phase 1 of the analytic process involved familiarization with the data. We read and reread the data and made notes or highlighted keywords. Phase 2 required a thorough and systematic coding of the data. We reviewed responses, noted keywords and phrases that were relevant to the research question, and identified codes. Some codes were semantic in that they reflected surface meaning of the data, and latent in that they reflected underlying systems of meaning. In phase 3, we identified possible themes by identifying similarity and overlap in the codes and clustering similar codes as possible themes. During phase 4, we reviewed the emergent themes against the coded data to check for fit, then reviewed the themes against the entire data set. In phase 5, we defined the names of the themes. Phase 6 involved writing up the themes. We analyzed our data individually in separate spreadsheets and highlighted codes and phrases for each of the survey questions that reflected the focus of the question. Once we decided that we were finished with our individual analysis, we pulled our analyses together for a combined review. At this point, it was evident that our interpretation of meaningful codes and emerging themes were very similar. We did step away from our research for several months as a result of competing responsibilities, and then we picked it up again in the fall of 2022. At this point, we've confirmed key themes. Next slide, please.
So moving forward with our results. So the results, also sometimes referred to as findings section of our research study, describe what we found when we analyzed the data. Our data supported the descriptive wording derived from our research question. How do doctoral students describe faculty kindness during the Capstone project? The results indicated that doctoral capstone learners experience kindness through affirmations, support, and compassion caring. The results further highlighted how the kindness influenced student motivations and intentions. And you'll see on the slide here that we have represented the themes as overlapping constructs with kindness and inevitably with each other. We believe that although some of these constructs stand alone, there's also an inherent overlap in how these experiences described by the students are in fact in many ways overlapping. And now I'm going to talk a little bit more about these themes. The first theme is affirmations, and we describe this as the extent to which the faculty were extending student qualifications beyond the scope of the class and dissertation process. In particular, the ways in which faculty affirmed the student's value in a professional context. A couple of student responses that align with this are as follows. First, I am recommending you for this so you can acquire experience in presentation of papers and for an important addition to your resume. And another student noted the following. My dissertation chair recommended me for an academic and professional development conference, and she was very supportive in the process. We liken this to really the way that the faculty is introducing and affirming the students' scholarly activities as an introduction to the academy. The next theme is one we described as supportive. And in this context, we saw instances of support through feedback as well as support through actions. Here are some examples of how our participants shared specific experiences that we aligned with support. My chair took extra time to reach out to other units or teams within Walden University to get the problem fixed. He even considered taking my drafts to test the system and get the problem fixed permanently. He was relentless in seeking help for me. Another student noted the following, where their chair shared that, "You have a good dissertation here!" exclamation point. It's unfortunate that I will not be able to follow you through to completion next quarter, but I'm sure whoever replaces me will happy to see the level of the work you produced. The sharing of resources was noted more than once by participants. For example, one student noted, I was given several resources to peruse, and I made a choice that helped me analyze my data in an expedient and cost-efficient manner. Another student recalled a level of support with her chair when they noted the following. My chair pinpointed the error in my paper, which saved me a lot of time and provides guidance to align my theoretical conceptual framework with my research topic and research questions. And then yet another student noted support with the following comment. My chair provided feedback within a few days. So we really felt that these types of student experiences, as reflected by our participants, really highlighted the degree of support that they felt that they were receiving, not only in feedback, but also in specific activities that those faculty engaged in their support of their student. So let's move forward and look a little bit at the caring and compassion theme. So with the caring and compassion theme, we describe this as those instances where the faculty demonstrated empathy, a caring, and a kind demeanor with the students. And these were typically found in feedback and comments that those faculty shared with students. One example that one participant shared is as follows. Their chair stated, "I understand you completely. It is absolutely necessary to do what is best for you. I am happy to listen anytime." Another student shared that their chair gave his heartfelt condolences and told me to reach out if I needed anything. Yet another participant shared that their chair told them that it is okay to make mistakes. Take a few deep breaths and you will be all right. Another student shared the following. As I explained all of the things going on in my personal life and me trying to figure it all out and then do school, she sympathized with me and encouraged me to continue. And yet another student shared that their chair promoted self-esteem and self-worth. And then finally, with respect to caring and compassion, one of our participants shared the following. In more ways than I can dare emphasize, her kindness with a subtle demeanor pushed my limits and helped me stay plugged in to the study despite my moments of despair. And we really found that, these very, I think, heartfelt um, comments provided by the participants really reflected the kind, caring, and compassionate demeanor and approach that their respective chairs took with them in various circumstances that those students were undergoing during their dissertation journey. We also found that the caring and compassion comments provided by participants rose to rose to the top as far as the number of responses that fell into this particular theme. So let's talk a little bit about motivations and intentions. We describe the motivations and intentions as really those types of feedback or encouragement by faculty that really incentivize the students to keep going, as it played out with those student intentions to continue moving forward through with the dissertation process. So here are some examples of comments that participants shared. One student shared that their chair indicated the following. "This is awesome!" Exclamation point. "Your message made my day. Keep going!" Exclamation point. Yet another participant shared that their chair encouraged them to keep going, that what I saw as major changes were actually not that big. The simple statement, "You can do this," was noted by several participants. What we can see as 4 simple words really seem to have immense meaning on the part of our participants. Another student shared that their chair not only stated, "You can do this," but they also shared that it will be hard, but I know and see in your writing how your passion is shining. Another student also elaborated on how their faculty said, "You can do it." This student shared that this mantra, "You can do it," became their single most encouraging statement that truly guided me to their study completion. Another student shared that their chair encouraged them to be patient while the chair finds out the reason for the holdup. This chair always encouraged the student not to give up. And then finally, one student noted the chair's feedback energized me. It encouraged me to keep working, and it made me feel that my efforts were meaningful and valuable. And we think that this particular sharing by our participants really speaks to the theme motivations and intentions. It's for us, it was descriptive of how even the simplest of kindness, such as "you can do it," really had meaning for these participants, and how it could help strengthen the students' commitment. So let's talk a little bit about how the findings relate to the literature. So as Steve noted earlier, we started this research in 2021, and then we stepped away from it for about a year. So the analysis with respect to the literature is still ongoing because we're still trying to identify peer-reviewed articles that have been published since we were working on this over a year ago. That said, our initial review does suggest that our findings align with existing empirical research. There's a major result of efforts to develop empathy and dialogue with students in the development of a positive classroom climate, which Riemann noted is an essential component of an effective, inclusive learning environment. Brahm noted that a positive classroom climate makes students feel welcomed, respected, and valued, in contrast to a negative climate that feels hostile, chilly, or chaotic. A supportive climate can help students develop a sense of belonging, which is an important and perhaps a prerequisite element of student motivation. A student's sense of belonging within a classroom community helps them develop a value for the tasks of the class, as well as for a sense of competence or self-efficacy regarding those tasks, according to Zumbrun et al. Our results indicated that doctoral capstone learners experienced kindness through affirmations, support, compassion and caring, and motivations intention. Our results further highlighted how kindness influenced student motivations and intentions. Baer and Haworth suggested that the choice of a dissertation chair might be the most important decision related to a doctoral study. Baer and Haworth suggested that chairs should have familiarity with the student's method and design, show an interest in the student's topic, and is actively engaged in research mentoring. Our research may add to the last point by highlighting the importance of the nature and tone of faculty engagement and resulting student experience. Berman et al. Posited that doctoral students require additional support during the dissertation phase when they encounter unexpected problems. Buchard, Knox, DeWalt, Fuller, Hill, and Schlosser found that individuals or students with positive experiences typically had supportive relationships with their dissertation chairs and committee members, which enhanced their research confidence and professional development. Our research aligns with this notion of the supportive relationships. Participants with negative dissertation experiences typically had difficult relationships with dissertation chairs and committee members. which was associated with immediate and long-term negative consequences for those participants' professional growth and emotional well-being. Soiferman and O'Brien found that supportive faculty belonging to a cohort for emotional and professional support and an opportunity to become part of the scholarly community were positive aspects of a doctoral program. They also noted that any issues involving lack of support and lack of community were detrimental potentially to the student experience. Their assertions regarding support and part of the scholarly community, we feel really dovetail with our theme related to affirmations and our theme related to support. Finally, the research we present here today aligns with research conducted by Kristensen and Verrone, in which they found that the tone of communication and student-centered behaviors are strategies that faculty use to facilitate kindness. So in summary, we do think that our research not only adds to existing peer-reviewed research, but it also supports and aligns with existing research related to student experiences in the doctoral journey. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Sheryl. So the limitations and recommendations of our study are its flaws or shortcomings. We expected 2 limitations based on the sample size and the use of an online survey sent to our participants. So no study is completely flawless or inclusive of all possible aspects. The recommendations are one of the most important parts of our analysis phase. Our research provided us the opportunity to evaluate some strategies to address the issues and constraints identified in the assessment. Our recommendations directly respond to key findings arrived at through data collection and analysis. Next slide, please.
All right, so thank you, Steve. So we do feel that our research does have some potential positive social change implications. This research may be significant and influence positive social change by informing administrators, faculty, and staff of doctoral student experience with kindness and how those experiences may influence persistence. The dissertation process can be an emotional, time-consuming, and costly venture that may be complicated by student and faculty dynamics. Carol, Snyder, and Dringus noted that between 40 to 50% of students in traditional doctoral programs don't complete their program. They also indicated that distance doctoral students drop out of their programs at a rate 10 to 20% higher than those students in traditional programs. This is a very high attrition rate, one that there's a possibility that an ongoing focus on how kindness, care, and compassion, and so forth might influence student persistence, and it potentially merits some additional consideration. The Council of Graduate Schools has produced several reports related to challenges and innovations attempting to improve doctoral completion rates. They have provided suggestions on how to improve 6 areas, which include administrative processes, admissions, advising, program environment, financial support, and research. We think that ultimately, there's also an opportunity to enhance these 6 areas as presented by the Council of Graduate Schools by further emphasizing the importance of research related to kind and caring practices. Thank you very much. Next slide. So in conclusion, this has really been for me, because I am a doctoral faculty, a real stark reminder of the impact we can have on our students' emotional, academic, professional, and physical well-being. Here we have some selected references, and I think I will hand it back to Lita if there are any participants here who might have any questions or comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Kristensen and Dr. Verrone. Any comments or questions? So I'll have to ask, just as a fellow researcher, what inspired you to embark on this research?
Well, I guess I can jump in a little bit. In 2019, Dr. Verrone and I embarked upon a kindness initiative in what was the College of Management and Technology at that time. And we have continued to offer a variety of kindness-focused initiatives, and within what was the College of Management and Technology, and which is now the College of Management and Human Potential. And we've also expanded collaborations throughout Walden. And in that particular initiative, one of our objectives was to potentially conduct research related to kindness. And so we did conduct research a couple of years ago on faculty strategies using kindness virtually. And this particular focus really kind of came out of that because we had explored faculty strategies, and then we wanted to kind of take a look at, well, what are the student experiences? Steve, do you want to add to that?
I do. I will mirror Cheryl's, Dr. Kristensen's remarks that when we started this, it was with a small initiative that we thought we could bring kindness into the classroom, and it expanded, and it was very well welcomed by our leadership, and we continued to pursue our mission of pursuing kindness in multiple areas. So we've included groups within Walden, teaching groups, leadership groups, and I will say that we have made a difference. We've seen it in our review process. It is now included the wording for being kind in the classroom. So I do think that we have made significant progress in the Walden community and within our sector, and I appreciate what Sheryl does for our team, and thank you very much.
Wonderful. And the community of care that we're really putting a big focus on, I think, ties in nicely with your research and kindness.
Yeah, Lita, so it was so exciting to learn that Walden was going to have this focus on community of care, and we do think it dovetails very, very well with the initiatives we already had in place. And so exciting that Walden has taken the lead on this whole idea of care and compassion and kindness. We're going to still facilitate some activities, that similar to what we have been in the past. And I think we're going to continue to identify additional areas for research. So I think it's just an exciting time altogether.
Fantastic. Any other questions or comments from the attendees? All right.
Thank you
Well,
very much, everybody, for attending.
yeah, I want to thank everyone for attending, and also to you, Dr. Sheryl Kristensen and Dr. Steve Verrone, for carving out time to present your research. It's very valuable and very well received, so I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lita, for facilitating for us.